This is Cashflow Ninja, episode 247 with Russell Whitney.
Welcome to the Cashflow Ninja, the podcast sharing how to create income streams and manage, multiply, and protect your wealth in the new economy. Here is your host inside the dojo, MC Laubscher.
Hello, Cashflow Ninjas. MC Laubscher here, and welcome to another episode of the Cashflow Ninja. I have a great show for you today, and in today's show, we're going to look at how to turn your passion into profits with expert mentoring. I'm joined today by Russell Whitney, an expert mentor. Russell is an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and a recognized worldwide leader in the business, real estate investment, and financial training fields. He has spoken alongside luminaries like President Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, Anthony Robbins, and George Foreman, always spreading his message of how to take immediate action to achieve financial goals and dreams by following his easy-to-follow step-by-step process. Please share your feedback and thoughts on today's interview. You can let me know your thoughts on Twitter by tweeting me at MC Laubscher or by email at info@cashflowninja.com. And please remember to join our mailing list by signing up at cashflowninja.com or texting Cashflow Ninja to 44222. To ensure you never miss one of our episodes, you can download our free interactive smartphone apps on the Apple and Google Play app stores. I've also created a Cashflow Ninja investment group where I share opportunities that I'm investing in with my fellow investors. If you're interested in joining this group, please email me at info@cashflowninja.com and we will continue the conversation to see if you're a good fit for our group. I've always thought that if there are only a handful of people that have built indestructible wealth in any economy and market, why are we following the advice and doing what the majority of people are doing that are struggling financially? My friend Dave Zook says, you can be conventional or you can be wealthy, but you need to pick one. At The Real Asset Investor, Dave and his company create value for investors looking for high yield returns from real estate ventures domestically and internationally. To learn more about the exciting investment opportunities The Real Asset Investor offers, such as the syndication opportunity at the Mahogany Bay Village in Belize, investment opportunities in the multifamily space in the United States, and ATM syndication opportunities, visit cashflowninja.com/real asset investor. Are you interested in real estate investing but don't know where to start? Join Ops Properties is the premier provider of turnkey lease option investment properties. With their proven system, you can have cash flow within 30 days. To get cash flow within 30 days, go to joinopsproperties.com. The wealthiest investors on the planet know how to capture their wealth and leverage it to perpetually grow it. If you're interested in learning the premier strategies of the wealthiest individuals and families on the planet, you can access an educational webinar at cashflowninja.com/be-the-bank. Russell, welcome to the show.
Thank you, MC. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Can you please share a little bit about your background and journey with my listeners?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been in the education business for teaching people real life how to, number one, make money, how to create better budgets for yourself, how to make wise investments, and then generate multiple revenue streams. So I help build some of the biggest brands out there in the world that do real estate investing, stock investing, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, funding programs, and one of the biggest things I do is I take entrepreneurs that have information. You could be somebody listening to this call right now, or even yourself, MC, that has intellectual property, IP. What I mean by that is an education platform that could teach somebody how to make money on internet, how to make money in real estate, stocks, and obviously now we look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. That's going to be the new big craze of seminars. And what we do, and what I'm special at doing, is bringing somebody through a comprehensive education process to absorb the most amount of information, but not just absorb it, actually apply the information. You know, a lot of people say knowledge is power. Me, I don't believe that. I believe applied knowledge is power. So what we want to do in the processes that I work on is really getting the student to actually apply the principles, techniques, and strategies So I've helped build a company that went from 0 to 250 million. Recently, one of the projects I've been working on, I took a company from 0 in the past 2.5 years to 45 million in one of their divisions.
Russell, you were one of the guys brought in to the Rich Dad company when Robert Kiyosaki had a book, a board game, an idea, a good brand. There's so many other brands that we can list as well. And then you're the person that puts together the event processes and the educational processes. And I just want to touch on one thing that you mentioned as well. So many people go to seminars, for instance, a one-day seminar or something like that. Which they probably forget 98% of what is shared in the seminar, right? That's why you have to have the processes in place with courses and so forth. Can you just talk us through how you went just using one of these brands as an example from start of how you go in there, what you do, and how you structure and create these systems and processes for them?
Yes. One of the good things is I kind of grew up into this industry. It's almost a family generation industry. My father was a real estate guru that was on TV for many years, and we built out the education processes back in the 80s and 90s for real estate investing. So the first thing that you got to do, obviously, is have a valuable information that people are looking for that is applicable in their everyday life. And real estate investing, obviously investing in general, is one of the biggest areas most people need help with. And if you look at it, no grade school, high school, college, university out there teaches people real life scenarios. How do you buy your first home? How do you get investment properties? How do you get into stocks? How do you make sure your broker is giving you the best picks for your stocks that you're doing? In business, they don't teach you about all the different revenue streams that you can build on upon a business. Everything is almost theory. And theory and what goes on in the real world are two totally different things. So what we like to do is look for real world information that multimillionaires, hectamillionaires, billionaires are using, and teach others how they can use these techniques. So Robert Kiyosaki, for example, he had a book, and that book was a New York best time. I mean, it's the number one financial selling book of all time. And Robert Kiyosaki, I don't think at the time when he was rating it with a lady by the name of Sharon Lechter, knew where it would be at today. But originally he had a board game. And that's what he wanted to promote, was his board game, I think, called Cashflow Quadrant. But he didn't really have a name or a brand behind him to get it into any store. So a lady that he partnered with was Sharon Lechter, and said, hey, if you want to get your game out there, you need to rate a book. Let's create this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So from there, back in 2003, we were doing these big stage events called Learning Annex. I was speaking to 10,000, 15,000 people at a time. I'd go on after Anthony Robbins and before George Foreman. And the guy that used to promote these events was called Bill Zanker. Now, Bill Zanker is the owner of Learning Annex. The problem with Learning Annex is they're promoters. They don't have systems and processes for education. We had the systems, processes, and we were a publicly traded company at that time. Still, it is still a publicly traded company today. But what we did is Bill Zanker, this is the importance of contacts. You know, this is one thing I always tell young entrepreneurs, old entrepreneurs, new non-entrepreneurs, anybody that's looking to get in business, is your network is your net worth. So the more people you can reach out to, more connections that you can get, that means more opportunities. If you're staying at home and you're being a recluse, you're not going to get the opportunity. So the good thing is we had reach. We had a lot of connections. People knew our processes, knew our real estate programs, our success stories that we had. So what happened is Rich Dad was actually kind of going out of business at one point in time and getting ready to close their doors until they ended up meeting myself, my father, and our family. We ended up acquiring his brand. We basically did a plug-and-play system. We were already out doing events every week with the Whitney brand and another couple of real estate brands that we had, Cashflow Generator, Teach Me Foreclosure, Focus on Foreclosure. And it was very simple just to take Robert's name and start promoting it and then plug in our real estate education processes. So we took it from zero, and then the very first year we did over 40 million. Second year went up to 100 million, got all the way up to almost 150 million with that one brand alone, Kiyosaki. And it's still out there today. All of the education on real estate and stock was created by myself, my family. We created all the real estate education, all the stock education. So what we do is we market it. Hey, come out to this free event. From there, we sell them into a 3-day training for $497. It gives them the basics of training. And what we're looking, and the reason why we do it in this process, we're looking for serious people, not curious people. Somebody invests $497. They're not necessarily serious. They're more curious. Okay, this might seem something like I want to do. They go to a 3-day training. At the 3-day training, we show them what they could potentially hit, meaning revenue streams, the net worth they could get, how many properties they could get renting, how much cash flow they could get off of a property, if they were flipping properties, what they could potentially make per flip. Then from there, we would structure and figure out the person's DNA. If I'm talking to a lady, let's say that's, 70 years old, my guess is she would not want to go out, fix and flip properties, meaning she doesn't want to go out there, start knocking down drywall, start doing any of the maintenance. So we would structure all of the sales based around the person's DNA. If I was working with somebody that was from the craft, meaning they were a handyman, I would probably get them into wholesale buying, meaning buying properties, fixing up and flipping. Whereas the lady that's, let's say, 80 years old or 60 years old, that's not really hands-on, I would show her how to trade paper in real estate, meaning get a property under contract, sell that contract for $5,000, $10,000, or do lease with the option to buy or purchase options to buy, where there doesn't have to be a lot of fix-up and doesn't have to be a lot of hands-on. So we would take them through this process. We had over 14 boot camps. We had boot camps that were just focused on wholesaling properties, on rental income producing properties, on how to manage your properties, commercial real estate, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, auctions, mobile home buying, land developing syndication, international land developing syndication, asset protection. When you have money, how do you protect your assets? How do you get the right tax structuring so you're not overpaying in taxes? A lot of people don't understand asset protection is not necessarily to protect your money. It's also to help you with tax as well. So we teach all of these processes. Now, there's something great that you brought up is they go to an event, they get all excited, but when they get home and they get back into the real world, how do they apply what we teach? That's why we created what's called mentorship programs, where we developed real estate mentors that went through our education processes. They made at least a net worth over $1 million in real estate. They could show verifiable deals that they've done. And then we would send them out to the student's house and location and set up a real estate business from scratch in their local market. We would hook them up with real estate agents. We would hook them up with title companies, with mortgage brokers. We would find them people that would find deals, people that they could flip deals to. We'd create a buyer's, a seller's list. We did everything for them. That program, the mentorship we had, ran a 98% success rate and a less than 1% refund rate. 98% of the people bought real estate and made money with real estate.
I am actually a student of one of these mentorship programs because I had real estate investments that was a little bit of a mess at one stage. And I remember the effect that mentors have played in my life and the direction that they gave me. And being in one of those coaching programs, I was introduced to someone that would put a fresh set of eyes on the challenges that I had at that stage and turn them into opportunities for me. So the education I can vouch that's provided through these processes and these systems is incredibly powerful, very, very customizable to every single individual, Russell, just as you had mentioned, even taking it down to the personality, because that's one of the things that these programs also incorporated was taking certain tests, right? I don't remember if it was a Colby or a Myers-Briggs or something like that, but they truly try and find out that investor DNA and then basically tailor these programs. So I can definitely speak to the power of these educational systems and event systems that you guys have created.
Right. And the great thing about these, some people look at our industry and say, oh, it's a scam. You're charging people to make money on teaching them how to make money. But, really, if you look at the processes of what we do and the success people have, it's better success than what anybody has in any college institution or university. People have no problem paying $50, $60, $70, $80,000 to get a college education. When they get out, they get a job for what, 30 grand starting? Right. Depending on what you're in. Even if you're a lawyer and an attorney, you're not going to get out your first year and start making six figures a year. It's impossible. It doesn't happen unless you got a mother or father that owns a company where you can get a position. They say, yes, we'll pay you this. But just coming out of college, you got to start and work your way up. Our education packages, I have packages that go all the way up to $160,000 and higher, but this is real world education that's applicable, that anybody can apply and make money with. There's really a couple big areas that I'm into. One, these days I'm into internet. I believe internet is the new real estate. Everything's moving that way. There's so much opportunity, young, middle-aged, old, to make money on the internet. This year, me and my business partner on the internet, we went from 0 to 3.5 million in cash flow on the internet this year on one revenue stream. Real estate is another big area that I love. Stock investing. I don't get into the day-to-day, but I think it's good to have a little bit of diversification. Even in the Bitcoins, Litecoin, Ethereum, I woke up this morning, I've tripled my money on one of the coins that I've done. I'm not saying it's a speculative market that people are getting into. However, I look at two things. One is you got to have your eggs in a basket that you're going to watch and control. So whatever your passion is, for me, I'm passionate in my businesses of education. So that's where my main revenue streams are and where my main chunk of money comes from. But from those chunks of money, what I do is I take it and I basically plant seeds in every single market. Because either at the end of the day, you're a genius or an idiot when it comes to investing. Are you going to win 100% of the time? No. Are you going to lose 100% of the time? No. You could if you have horrible education, but the processes that we teach helps you diversify to keep yourself safe and secure.
I couldn't agree with you more.
For sure.
One of the biggest scams is college education out there. And you mentioned one of the packages was $160,000, and you think about it, that could be a 4-year college degree. Now, take a look at the two different types of education that you're going to receive. Actionable education that you can execute on, which is exactly what the wealthy investors or business owners or entrepreneurs are doing, where they're going to school or college and then learning to be a good employee and making 30 grand a year. If you're lucky, getting out of that. So couldn't agree with you more. As far as the industry, the event industry and the seminar industry, you touched on the internet. Most of the things right now, I've seen a lot of obviously systems and processes being from webinars, where webinars have kind of I wouldn't say replaced, but the webinars is the online version of that first initial seminar, right? Which is then upsold and taken into another one. How has this changed the industry specific that you're in, and what are some of the biggest opportunities that this has allowed you guys as far as scalability?
Well, the internet has helped us dramatically, help us reach more people, because just doing live events, I go to, let's see here, every single week, one of the companies that I work with and I'm mentoring right now, we do about 6 cities or countries every single week, somewhere around the world. So we got 6 teams out that are doing a live event. The problem is we do 2 live events a day, 3 times a week per team that's out. Well, there's a lot of people that register for our workshops and can't attend. Life gets in the way, work gets in the way, traffic gets in the way. They got to bring their kids to soccer, whatever excuse they couldn't make it to that event. So the webinars in internet help us touch more people that in their schedule works around them. So the internet has totally helped this industry probably create another revenue stream that is almost equal to the live event stream. So if I'm making 50 million a year doing live events and I'm generating 50 million a year, if I have my web presence proper, if I have my sales process proper, I should be able to do the same amount of numbers with webinars to a step process where they would go to a phone call. From that phone call, they would be sold into the same education programs. We have two different platforms. Live events is one. Second one is doing internet online training courses. So I love the internet model. I think it's a great way to go. I think more people rather just, a lot of people stay in the comfort of their own home. Personally, I believe get the hell out of your home and go to an event, because that's where you're going to network. You're going to meet people. You're going to build up your network, which then in turn helps you build your net worth. But in the beginning stages, if I want to get somebody, meaning I want to make contact for smaller amounts of money, not have to put out $30,000 a week to fill up an event, I would do it on the internet, because you could do it for, $1,000, $2,000. You can get a couple hundred people on a webinar, 50 people on a webinar to sell your products, goods, and services, a front end entry price point. What you want to make an irresistible offer, as we call it in the industry. So an irresistible offer for $49 or $100. That's how you get your lead in the door. That's the first buy-in. And what I found in trending is typically if somebody buys 2 or 3 times, they're going to keep buying from you over and over and over again. That creates more commitment. I think Grant Cardone talks about this. Grant as well. Grant talks about commitment being time and money. If somebody spends the time, makes a commitment, gets on the webinar, and then invests the money, they're committed to me. Now I got to figure out, how can I make them commit more? How can I make them commit more? Also, how can I tweak this person and help them get better from what they're doing right now? Somebody could be making, let's say, 10 million a year, thinking they're great, they're comfortable. But then when you look at somebody like a Grant Cardone who's worth 700 million, you're thinking, damn, I'm not even close to the level I need to be. There's ways I can tweak and get better. So that's what an expert mentor like myself does. I helped another young gentleman by the name of Matt Lloyd. This kid at 24 years old, I met him, and his events were doing against zero. Now they're doing 40 to 45 million will hit this year. Next year, we'll probably get up to 60, 70 million and create multiple brands off of the one that we started with. So what I do is I work with anybody that's out there for the most part and help them scaling their businesses, come up with packages. So 4 things I work on. One is called positioning yourself as the key KPI, key person of influence in your market. If you're a person that's let's say a Bitcoin person, and the only reason why I bring it up is the big craze, and I'm looking for the next person that can teach true how to make money in Bitcoin, how to trade in Bitcoin, that I can mentor and do seminars with, because that will be where the market's going to turn. You're going to see that a lot of workshops, a lot of how to make money is going to go to Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethercoin. So one, positioning. How do you position yourself as the key person of influence? Let's look at Robert Kiyosaki. What did he do? He wrote a book. His book became a New York Times bestseller, worldwide bestseller. He positioned right there, key person of influence. Just because he had a book, that made him have more credibility than anybody else out there. Then from there, what we did is we said, okay, he's got a great book on teaching people how to invest their money, businesses and real estate and stock investments. Now we can break out his chapters and put them into individualized, specialized training programs. So that goes to the second, which is called packaging. How do you package your products? You need to have at least 4 packages or more for any program that you have, that you're offering. If you have 1 upsell, you're dead in this business. If you have 1 product, you're dead in this business. 4 products, I believe, or more. And then number 3 is let's promote it. There's plenty of ways to do it. One, you could do it old-fashioned way, word of mouth. Word of mouth, yes, you're going to get good people. The problem is you can't scale quickly. You can't get to as many people as quick as possible. Next is you have old school direct mail. Direct mail is coming back in a big way. Problem with direct mail is, number 1, people don't open their direct mail, meaning this is physical mail sent to the mailbox. Most of the time, if you don't get a bill in the mail and it's something you don't know, they toss it, they throw it. However, The generation of 45 plus, they open every letter because that's how they've been trained from when they were young, always open every single piece of mail. And that's giving you a targeted audience. If somebody opens a mailer, this is what's really important. A lot of people don't know. Mailers are typically your best buyers and have the most amount of money to invest in your program and are more committed people because they actually open a letter. That first they had to walk to their mailbox. Then they had to open the mailbox, get your mailer, open up the mailer, read it. Then at the bottom, they saw a call to action to call a number, go to a website, whatever it was to go buy your product. They did that action. So it created more actionable steps and processes outside of just click, 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 which I'll get to in a minute on the internet. So direct mail, great area to go. The problem with direct mail is you spend $20,000 in it. It's going to cost you probably at least anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to have a buyer, meaning somebody buy from you. So you better have a good back end where you can create profitability and scale. Next is you have radio, but with radio, you need to have a good budget in a target market of at least $40,000 to $50,000. Why? Because most people do not follow a radio ad, and on the very first ad they hear, pick up the phone and call. It usually takes 3 times for a person to hear a radio ad before they pick up a phone, they call, or go to a website. So you need to make sure your ad's playing over and over and over and over and over again if you want to get the volume. The problem and challenges with that is the money that you're spending in radio is going to be a very good amount to acquire your customer. Then next you have TV. Now TV, if you've noticed, most people are not watching TV anymore. They're using what? Netflix, they're using Amazon, and also more marketing dollars go on the internet these days than TV. It used to be vice versa. But TV is expensive because you have to film a commercial, and a good commercial. When you film a commercial, it could cost you anywhere from $10,000 on a cheap end, which is probably somebody that you don't want to work with, all the way up to $60,000 or $100,000. Now, the guys doing it at 60, these are infomercial guys. They know how to create the copy. They know how to create the scripting, how to really position the product well. So somebody takes action, they pick up the phone and buy. That's not even marketing. That's just rating the infomercial, filming it. Now I got to go, let me go buy TV time. TV time, you can buy what's called remnant space. And remnant space is usually times of 11 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning, Saturday times early in the morning, Sunday times early in the morning. And these infomercials are anywhere from 2-minute, 5-minute, all the way up to a 30-minute infomercial. So I'm going to spend probably 30, 40, 50,000 plus in TV. The problem is for every dollar I spend, I'm probably only going to get 0.05 in return. So I'm going to get half back in return on my front end entry point. That's why you need to have 4 products or more. This is, again, going back to packaging. If I can't upsell, I'm losing money. Then internet, beautiful way to go. Why? Because it's cheap. You can target your audience really, really strong. You can create different pixels so you can have a retargeting going on for your product. I believe internet, if you're getting started promoting any type of business, start with the internet. Learn Facebook. Take the time. It's a pain in the butt getting in the beginning, but just like anything, you have to build your muscle, your brain muscle on how to work on the internet properly. Internet, you can acquire a customer at a very, very, very low price point and generate huge amounts of cash. One downfall with the internet is it's easy. Meaning, you probably done this before, MC, and I'm sure some of you that are listening on this podcast right now have done it before. You see an ad pop up, you click on it, yes, you read the ad, you put in your information, it goes by really quickly, you get the ebook, and then it goes by the wayside. You're not staying engaged, or they're not following up with you to be engaged because it's a low entry price point, or they'll do the free offer, get and download my ebook for free. Most people don't read the ebooks. So you're going to have to really work on your follow-up sequence to make sure you're getting people through your customer funnel and customer acquisition. If your follow-up is not there on the internet, you're just wasting time and you're wasting money. So that goes to promoting. Number 4 is partnering. Partnering, we're doing that right now. MC, me and you, we're partnering on this podcast. I believe that your Cashflow Ninja is absolutely awesome. It's a way to go, but I'm able to promote myself as well. So we can partner this way together. Let's collaborate. Why compete? This is why I love the internet. This is why I love podcasts. This is why I love working with guys like you, Cardone, others out there, is we collaborate together. We promote each other. We help each other grow at the same time. We mentor each other, but we get our information out there to the masses. I want to be all over the place. For me, I want to be the next biggest item out there that everybody wants to work with. I mean, everybody in the industry of what I'm in, the how-to industry, wants me to work with them, wants me to help them, very picky and choosy on who I work with. But I want to get my name out there. I want to collaborate with as many people as possible, where in my younger years, I thought competition was the best. Compete. Oh, no, let me keep it all to myself. Let me do it all myself. And I ended up finding out that's more stressful than if I reach out to a buddy of mine who has a completely different audience, say, hey, let's do something together. You get my audience, I get your audience. We build together and make money together. Partnering also just in business deals, doing business deals, joint ventures together, partnering in real estate together. So creating partnerships goes back to what? Your network. Who do you know that you can partner with in business? So I like to work on the 4 Ps, my 4 pillars, I guess you would call it, positioning, package, promote, and partnering. That's what an expert mentor is going to help you to do.
You're listening to Russell Whitney on the Cashflow Ninja podcast. We will be right back after a word from our sponsor. This is MC Laubscher, the host of the Cashflow Ninja podcast. As you may know, I'm also the president and chief wealth strategist of Valhalla Wealth Financial. We help individuals, families, small businesses, entrepreneurs, and professionals build their wealth outside of Wall Street and help investors maximize the use of every dollar in their personal economy and boost their investment gains. We do this by combining the capital and investments with the financial vehicle of the wealthy according to the infinite banking concept. If you're interested to learn more about privatized banking and the infinite banking concept, you can access an exclusive webinar at cashflowninja.com/be the bank. You're listening to Russell Whitney on the Cashflow Ninja podcast, and now back to our interview. You've mentioned the internet and how powerful it is and partnering, and this ties into a pretty exciting project that you're working on as well, yougetpaid.com. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, for sure. So yougetpaid.com, interestingly enough, MC, this is a great story. We had one of the first internet brands back in 1999 doing seminars and workshops. Back then, you only got paid if somebody clicked on a banner ad. There was no big affiliate programs, meaning like some of these companies where if you market their product, you're getting 80% commission, meaning you market a product for $100, you're making $80 for marketing that product. Back when we were doing it, and back then it used to be the letter U, getpaid.com. I have now YOUGETPAID. So yougetpaid.com is going to be a center where people can learn how to do affiliate marketing. We're going to have products on there that they can market for themselves. These products are going to go anywhere from $100 all the way up to $60,000, and they're going to be able to obtain commissions just by marketing the products. And they'll have no overhead, meaning the only overhead and expense they would have from yougetpaid.com is they would have marketing expenses. All the products, the deliverables, the fulfillment, the customer service, the credit card processing, all of that's taken off of their shoulders. We manage every little piece of it. They market, they promote, they get paid. So yougetpaid.com, we're going in 2 areas. One is going to be affiliate marketing, and the other is going to be e-com, how to make money in e-com, how to set up a Shopify store. So Shopify is a great way to go. If you want to make an extra $1,000 a week, $1,000 a day, I mean, I know guys that are making $1 million a month by creating stores through Shopify and promoting drop ship products from China. They don't inventory, they don't house anything. It's an affiliate program for physical products. So imagine you want to market, let's say you love pets. We can open up a pet store for you. And in that pet store, we can have everything from dog beds to dog food to dog items for your house, pet lover items, anything that you want revolving around pets. We'll build the store for you. So here's the great part. You have no experience in the internet, zero, little, doesn't matter. We build it. We do it for you. We'll build the store for you. Once that store is built, we're going to teach you how to promote, place ads on Facebook, on Google, on Bing, all over the internet, generate traffic to your store. Instagram, another way to do it as well. Generate traffic to your store and get people buying products from you. So the good thing is you have no inventory. You could have 100 products in your store. Just imagine this. You go to a store, there's 100 products or 50 or even 20. Most people think, wow, you got to put all this money out for inventory. I'm going to have to dig in my pocket. For each one of these products, I need to house 100 units in inventory. Not anymore. With the ways that we can drop ship from China, the benefit is there's no overhead for you. You don't have to put up the money first before you market. It's when the person buys, it automatically pays the warehouse in China for the product that you get for $2. You sell it on your site, let's say for $10. Now you're making a profit of $8 minus marketing. Let's just call it $6. All right. It drop ships from China. They take care of all of the shipping, everything that you need. You just market the product. So it's a beautiful way to have a store online. The only challenge and downside to doing Shopify, to doing drop ship, is the one complaint that you get is how long it takes to get to somebody. So it can take anywhere from 2 weeks up to 28 days from the time of purchase for that product to get to somebody here in the United States. But what we show you how to do, and what's beautiful and what we're going to build off of it, is we're actually going to build a warehouse, almost like Amazon has, where you can do what's called FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, meaning you buy a lot of products, you put it in Amazon's warehouse. Amazon in the United States stores it, ships it here, gets the product to them in 2 days. Well, what we're going to start to see is what items are trending through the stores that we're creating. What are the hottest, best items out there? From that, I'm going to have a team go acquire these items, build a warehouse here in the U.S., East Coast, West Coast, on both sides of the country. We're going to warehouse it. But the secret is, how do you get all of those products from China here at the cheapest cost? I've found a kind of a secret loophole where you can buy remnant space on airplanes. Every commercial airliner, most people don't know this, but every single commercial airliner that's out there in the United States, up in the air right now, has sections of their plane underneath that are called remnant space, just like buying remnant space on TV, meaning it's dead air. And they're saying, listen, you can buy this space for 96 per square foot, whatever, 96 cents per square foot, whatever that space is, in the calculations and numbers. We don't have to get into that, but you get the point. So I can buy in areas on airplanes cheaper than it would cost me to put on a boat and get it here to the United States at literally probably less than a third or fourth of the cost. It's crazy, this new market that we're looking into. So we're going to start building up with YouGetPaid.com. We're going to teach people how to make money in affiliate marketing. How do you make money on e-commerce? Those two areas. And then a third is Amazon. Now with Amazon, it's an interesting platform, and I got a couple guys out there doing it right now, but Amazon is almost like having your own warehouse, your own store inside of Amazon. The thing that I like about Amazon is you get to use the Amazon name, meaning if you're an Amazon reseller, and Amazon, what is that giving you by using their name? Credibility. That goes back to positioning. If you look in my steps that I talk about as an expert mentor, same thing is applied in every industry and business. If I affiliate with Amazon, have an Amazon store, and I say my products are on Amazon, you're going to think, what? This guy's got value. This guy's working with Amazon. I know that if I buy from him, my money's safe and secure. If I want to return the package, it's going to be honored by Amazon because Amazon has built a credible name. So why not have an Amazon store, have that credibility? Then we teach you how to package your products in there and how do you promote your products through Amazon. Beautiful way to make and generate money.
And the other issue for business owners, cash flow is the lifeline of any business that you have, right? Since we're on the Cashflow Ninja, and access to credit and access to money becomes a necessity when you're looking to scale and grow your business and move into other avenues. And you guys have come up with a unique solution in this area as well. Can you share a little bit more?
Yeah. So, I mean, cash flow is highly important. I didn't even show you this before you got on the call, but I'm sitting here on my office desk and I put stacks of cash around me because I want to always keep my mind on my money, right? So I got $20,000 in cash sitting in front of me right now that I look at. So cash flow is important for every single business. Getting cash flow, getting your business to cash flow, obviously. Number one reason why businesses fail, people say it's money. It's not, it's money, but it really comes down to marketing and then your cash flow. But how do you get money if you don't have money in business? That's what people always ask me. That's the biggest question. Russell, I don't have any money to get started in business. Or Russell, I don't have the money to scale my business. Or Russell, I don't have money to get into real estate investing. Biggest problem. Well, number one, the only reason you don't have money is you didn't educate yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're listening to this call right now and you're one of those people that's whining, saying, I have no money, I have no sympathy for you. The only sympathy that I'm going to have for you is somebody didn't give you guidance or you're not taking actionable steps to learn how to get money. Because there's plenty of money out there. Trust me, it's all over the place. But if you're a person that has decent credit, 670 and above credit score, no bankruptcies, no judgments, no liens, I can get you money. I can get you $25,000 all the way up to $150,000 unsecured lines of credit, 0% interest, 12 to 24 months. This is a great way for you to get funding for your business real estate investment deals. MyOPMnow.com. OPM stands for what? Other people's money. Don't use your money, use my money, right? So myopmnow.com, they go there, they put in their name, email, address, and phone number. It's going to take them to my site that we run your credit report on. Everything is 100% safe. It's a secured site. So you will go, you'll run your credit report. And when you're running your credit report, you're going to put in a trial code. This trial code is imperative that you put it in there. So this way you pay $1 to see if you get approved or not, as opposed to $40. But you put in trial, TRIAL 591. By doing that, it will auto-populate and within minutes tell me if you're approved or not. I'm looking at the back office right now for one of the people that I fund. I help their students get money. And in the past 2 years, I've helped this company fund over $60 million for their students in the past 2 years. We've funded since 2008 over $1 billion. I'm talking about helping people that have franchises. I'm talking about real estate investors, entrepreneurs, anybody with a business that needs cash, you need capital. You can get credit lines, 0% interest, 12 to 24 months. Average client, here's the great part. Average client MC gets $80,000 on average. 0% on average, 18 months. We've created algorithms with banks since 2008, have trending analytics with every national bank, local bank. This is United States only. So if you're in another country, I wish I could fund you. So this is for all U.S. clients. If you're in another country, though, and let's say you are somebody that's come to the United States and you have a social security number. That's all you need. Social security number, we can get you funded. So you don't have to be a citizen of the United States. You can have a green card, social security, start building your credit lines here. We can get you funding. So anybody out there that wants to get the funding, go to myopmnow.com, apply for our funding, and I guarantee you we'll get you 25 minimum. Our guarantee is if we don't get you 25 grand or above, you pay $0. If we get you above 25 and the average person again gets $80,000, we have a small fee that we charge for getting you the credit lines. We built an algorithm. This is the cool part. So every single bank each day trends what their customers are doing Also, what banks trend is the interest rates that are being charged. So if I'm working with a client, let's say here in Florida, I'm not just going to get credit lines with just Chase and Bank of America. I want to look at the local community banks, those small banks like PB&C is one here in Florida, but it's not out in California. It's not out in Vegas. It's pretty much a Florida and I think Georgia bank. I will work with that client and I will find credit lines that they can end up getting for their business. And typically I'll get them anywhere from 6 to 8 different credit lines with different banks. Now the credit lines, it's just like a credit card. It's exactly like a credit card. So meaning you get these credit lines, you don't pay on the money unless you use the money. That's the beautiful piece. So a lot of people are always saying, when the right opportunity comes, when the right investment comes, I'll get the money. Well, guess what? Opportunities happen every day. You need that money in your pocket today, not tomorrow, because you could have something in 10 minutes that pops up where you need to utilize that money. If you wait, procrastinate to get funding, to get your hands on cash and capital, you will lose on more deals than the guy that's got money. So go to myopmnow.com, get at least $80,000 that you can use for your business. Now, 2 things that you have to make a promise to me on is 1, you will not buy bad debts. You will not go out and buy depreciating assets. You're not going to go buy a car with this money. You're not going to buy jewelry with this money. You're not going to buy clothes with this money. You're not going to go to the nightclub, pop bottles, and do what dumb people do that don't have money. You're going to do what smart, wise investors do, like myself, like MC, like Grant Cardone, like Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett's of the world. Leverage the money for cash flow businesses, investments, and anything that goes up in value, an asset. Now, do not put your money into a bad debt, good debts only. Even on my credit lines, I teach my students, the guys that work for me, I have a host of employees, I make them take out their credit cards. I make them get a labeler, and they need to label on their credit card investment only. So if they go to a store and they pull it out, they see on the credit line, it says investment only. I only can use this for an investment. So it gives you that daily reminder to say, I'm only going to use this money that I have to invest and make it grow. Otherwise, it's pointless having it.
Now, Russell, a core message in our show is to leave our families, communities, and the world better than we found it by passing down a mindset, values, and principles to future generations, not just money. So if you cannot pass on any money to future generations and we're only allowed to pass on 3 principles to them to build wealth and achieve happiness and success, what would they be?
3 values. Number 1 value would be a spirituality, whatever that is to you, your higher power. I think that in this universe, there is something bigger, better, and bolder than us. And I believe we need to believe in something higher than us. So for me, a higher power is absolutely imperative and important in having that spirituality and balance in your life. Otherwise, what happens, at least for me, and I'll speak for myself, is I get into my own head and I get to be my own demise, right? Whereas if I have a higher power or spiritual connection that I can talk to, that I can put my problems on them and not necessarily on me, that helps me through the day. So I believe in spirituality is an important value to have time for yourself each morning. So in the morning when you get up, don't go jump to your cell phone. Don't go jump to your computer. Take that hour to reflect on yourself. Let your brain start to kickstart in the morning before you get going. Integrity, big thing for me. I'm a man of my word. So honest people, honesty is the best policy. I always tell this to my young entrepreneurs because a lot of times people get into entrepreneurship, get into business. They tell what we call half truths. They don't tell full truths. And when you're not telling a full truth, you're telling a half truth. You got to keep up with that lie. And keeping up with a lie is one of the most difficult, stressful things ever out there. Be always 100% open and honest. Honesty and being and having and creating that honesty with yourself, not just with the person, but with yourself, being honest about you and where you're failing or where you're doing well, where you could do better, but honest with any contact that you have about your business, about the deal, about whatever it is you're doing in life. You will never have to keep up with a lie. So honesty for me is the biggest thing. I always, with my employees, with people that I work with, I catch them in one lie. I'm pretty much done with it. I move on, because if they do it once, they probably do it twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I just tell them, always be honest with me. That's all I care about. Your honesty, even if you did something wrong, just tell me you did it wrong right from the get-go, and we won't have an issue, because that shows me your integrity. That shows me your value, right? So I like honesty is a big, big one for me, and then loyalty. So loyalty is important. Being loyal to your people that are helping you get there. If you're an entrepreneur, right? You're listening to this call right now. You're a business and you got 5 people working for you. You need to create loyalty, meaning they're loyal to you, but you need to be loyal to them back. This is where a lot of people miss, right? Is they're not loyal to their employees. They don't invest in their employees. They don't invest into their people. They don't invest into their kids. They don't invest into their family. And not investing into them is creating zero loyalty. How do I create loyalty? I don't just say be loyal, be loyal. I invest into my people, which then in turns starts to create loyalty down the road. I invest in training programs. I invest into their children. I invest into their education. I invest every way possible my time that I take, set aside, work with an employee, work with an individual, help them get that chaos out of their brain, see the bigger picture, see the bigger light. That creates loyalty. I'm always selling my employees, the people I work with and mentor, on becoming a better them, creating that loyalty, creating that buy-in with each other and exchanging information. So I guess the 3 values: 1, create spirituality in your life; 2, honesty; 3, loyalty.
Russell, how can my listeners learn more about you, the companies that you've mentioned, and stay informed of all of the projects that you're involved with? And how can they get into contact with you on social media?
Social media. Okay. So my Facebook fan page, I got a couple of them, but one just is askrussellwhitney.com. Russell, RUSSELL. Last 4 letters are sell. So you want to become a good closer. Russell, and then Whitney, WHITNEY, like Whitney Houston, the singer. So ask Russell Whitney for Facebook. For Instagram, which I'm really putting a lot of effort into Instagram coming up here, learning this metric. I believe those of you listening need to. It's moving that direction, all on social media platforms. But Instagram is going to be Russell W. Whitney, RUSSELL WHITNEY. And then you can go to my website, russellwhitney.com. Also, I have a YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/Russell Whitney. I am putting content up there consistently. I interview experts. I interview millionaires all over the world, anywhere from Kevin Harrington, Grant Cardone, many others. I put it on my YouTube channel so you can get what I call Expert Insider. So my show is called Expert Insider, where I interview experts, find out inside information that you all can use in your everyday life for business, life, relationships. And there's a new app called Collide that I'm on, COLLIDE. My friend created this app. It's a great video streaming app, a great area to get content. I highly recommend going to Collide. I have videos on there that are free, and then I also have videos that you can purchase as little as 99 cents, or you could pay $10 a month and get unlimited video content that I'll be posting. And if you're a person that wants to get on Collide, reach out to me, because I can get you set up on Collide where you can put your video, your content, your training up there and get paid for doing it. So anybody that has content information on the business world, fitness world, any major industry, reach out to me. Say, Russell, I want to be on Collide. I'll get you set up. I got a guy on there that's making about $10,000 a month just posting videos.
Amazing. I am definitely checking that out. Russell, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your journey and your knowledge and just providing so much value for my listeners. There's just so much content in this. So I'll be listening to this a couple of times. Really appreciate connecting and having you on.
I appreciate you taking the time. I'm always pumped to get on a podcast and data dump information. I could go on for hours. I really, really appreciate your time. To your audience out there that's listening to this podcast, listen, just take massive action. Listen to MC. Listen to guys like me that are out there on a daily basis. And I guarantee your life 100% will change, will get better, will grow. If you're down, you're out, you're depressed, you think that there's nothing going to happen to you, it's not true. The miracle's right around the corner. Listen to these podcasts, invest into yourself, invest into MC, invest into me, and I guarantee your 2018 will be the best year you ever had.
Thank you for joining my guest, Russell Whitney, and myself on the Cashflow Ninja today. If you like what you hear and appreciate what we're trying to build here at the Cashflow Ninja, please subscribe, rate, and review our show on iTunes and share our show with family, friends, and your network. I'm always trying to learn and improve in every area of my life. So if there's any way that I can provide more value for you and serve you better, please reach out to me at info@cashflowninja.com. If you're not a subscriber to the Cashflow Ninja Gosh Good newsletter, you can sign up for our newsletter at cashflowninja.com or text Cashflow Ninja to 44222. Smart investors know that the banks actually don't own most automatic teller machines. In fact, the opportunity for private investment provides stellar passive returns, figures in the double digits, with the added bonus that most of the income is tax-free. Who wants to walk blindly past an ATM and not cash in on that opportunity? ATM machine ownership brings you a steady stream of hands-off passive income. Dave Zook and the Real Asset Investor team have been providing opportunities for investors in this uptrending activity of ATM use. If you are an accredited investor and would like more information on how you can invest in this exclusive asset class that very few investors will ever have access to, you can sign up for your free webinar on how to create income streams from ATMs at cashflowninja.com/real asset investor. Jimmy Freeland and Bob Scott have been in your shoes and have used real estate investing to create passive income and become financially free. In just over 3 years, they've created a lease option empire with over 170 properties. They can show you how to do the same. To get cash flow within 30 days, go to joinupsproperties.com. You can also check them out on YouTube. Just search Join Ups Properties or call Jimmy and Bob at 314-799-2247. The wealthiest investors on the planet know how to capture their wealth and leverage it to perpetually grow it. If you're interested in learning the premier strategies of the wealthiest individuals and families on the planet, you can access an educational webinar at cashflowninja.com/be the bank. That's our show for today, everyone. Until next time, live a life of passion and purpose on your terms. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. The information being presented and considered does not consider your particular financial objectives or situation, and it does not make personalized recommendations. This material is not intended to replace the advice of a qualified tax and legal advisor or other qualified professionals, and you should not use the information in place of a customized consultation with a licensed professional regarding your specific personal financial objectives, situation, and needs. We believe the information provided is reliable, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, timeliness, or completeness.